Please be seated. Good evening, and welcome to the graduation ceremony of Class P03. We thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Beth Ann Puckett, and I am the director of the Chester County Intermediate Unit Practical Nursing Program. Although I have not known this particular class for long and joined them in their last level, I am thrilled to have met each and every one of them and be part of their journey as they reach this goal today. It was not easy. There were days where they may have wanted to cry and felt defeated, and days where they laughed and knew they made a difference in a patient's life. And through all of these times, injuries that this class sustained, one student even had a childbirth during the class, they focused and got it done. Their hard work, dedication, and determination kept them focused, and they achieved completion of the practical nursing program. I am so happy for all of you and your accomplishments and congratulate you. I would now like to introduce Dr. Joe Fullerton, the Assistant Director of the Career Technical Customized Education Division.
Thank you, Mrs. Puckett. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here tonight on this momentous occasion. A graduation ceremony is always special, but even more special during the holiday season, when we can reflect, give thanks, and look ahead to a bright new beginning. But parents and graduates, before I address you, I want to address the staff, the PMP faculty. Thank you for your work and your dedication in preparing these 18 students to enter the world of work and make a difference in people's lives. Your efforts are appreciated, and the rewards you receive are well-deserved. Thank you. Parents and family members here tonight, I want to thank you for your support, your love, your babysitting services, your pats on the back, your encouragement, and the love that you have shown each of these graduates to allow them to continue on this journey for 15 months. Tonight is not an end. It's not even a beginning, but it's a continuation of life's journey that will take them to new heights. Thank you for that. You either really liked what I said or want me to stop talking. One of the two. And to the graduates, it's always fun to watch them in the back prepare to come out here. They're nervous. They're scared. They're wondering where their father might have went that they just walked in 10 minutes ago. They're looking for their grandparents and they're waving to their children. But what they showed tonight was part of their personality and what I believe makes a fantastic nurse. Only one of them knew what side to put the tassel on their cap. And they started arguing with one another. It was kind of neat to see, and finally somebody Googled it. And they discovered that he was right. And he let them know. But what that shows is their resourcefulness in finding a solution. And it makes me proud to stand here tonight to greet all of you and to celebrate with you their work. So graduates, congratulations. You will do well. And if you don't do well, we're not giving you your money back. But congratulations and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fullerton. Graduates, please stand. Upon achievement of program requirements, these graduates have successfully completed a Pennsylvania State Board of Nursing approved and ASIN accredited practical nursing program. It is with great pride that I present to you the Pickering third class of the Chester County Intermediate Unit Practical Nursing Program. Please be seated. I would now like to have Class President Claudette Key come up to the stage to introduce our guest speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Teresa Berkman is a nursing instructor for the Practical Nursing Program at the Chester County Intermediate Unit in Downingtown, PA. She started her nursing journey and received a diploma of nursing from Abington Memorial Hospital School of Nursing. From there, she received her Bachelor of Science in Nursing at Villanova University and then her Master of Science in Nursing from University of Pennsylvania. Teresa worked for many years in the emergency room at Abington Memorial Hospital as a staff nurse and evening charge nurse. She also worked in the emergency room at Hahnemann University Hospital. She then began her teaching career at Abington Memorial Hospital School of Nursing. She enjoyed teaching so much that she continued to other programs including Chester County Hospital School of Nursing, Delaware County Community College, Villanova University, and West Chester University. She has been with the Chester County Intermediate Unit Practical Nursing Program now for the past 7 years and has taught on every level, either with class or clinical. She also is currently the clinical coordinator for the St. Agnes Nurses Center, a clinic for uninsured patients in West Chester, and serves on the Medical Reserve Corps for Chester County. Teresa is married to her husband, Carl, for 31 years, and they have 4 children. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Teresa Berkman to the stage.
Thank you, Claudette, for that introduction. And I was just saying, this is the first time as a teacher I've ever been applauded as I approach the podium to speak. It's not always the response that you get. Welcome, distinguished guests, family, friends, other students, faculty, and especially Class P03. It is an honor for me to speak at your graduation from the Chester County Intermediate Unit Practical Nursing Program. I first met the members of Class P03 on a blustery morning last fall in the parking lot at Pickering. We were in the middle of the COVID pandemic and we were doing a drive-through so students could pick up books and materials before beginning class on Zoom later that morning. I was one of the instructors assigned to the class along with Mrs. Carpenter, and I would be responsible for teaching pharmacology, anatomy and physiology, otherwise known as A&P, and Mrs. Carpenter would teach A&P as well and fundamentals. I also did lab and clinical with these students. So most of our teaching in the beginning was on Zoom, so we saw a lot of each other on Zoom, 6 or 7 hours a day. You heard my stories, a lot of my stories about my children. I learned a great deal about being a nurse and a teacher by being a mom. And with 4 children, you experience a lot of health issues and injuries, especially with 3 of them being boys, a lot of orthopedic injuries. So I had a lot of health-related stories to tell. My children were all on track and cross-country teams. And if you have a child on a team, you know that they tend to collect many t-shirts from all the various meets and other events they go to. So one of my very favorite t-shirts was for one of the races, and it had this phrase on the back: "Fight the good fight, finish the race, keep the faith." So Class P03, you fought the good fight. From those first days on Zoom, forming a bond even though you didn't meet in person for many weeks. Your class officers led the way, Claudette as president, Chris as vice president, Amy as secretary, Kim as treasurer, Jeff on resource, Megan and Claudette on bulletin boards, and Jessica and Chris on photography. So we had Zoom, lots and lots of Zoom. Zoom class, Zoom lab. And if you guys remember doing the assessment video on your child or your partner or another family member, when we watched those videos, you could tell by the expression on some of their faces as you asked some of the assessment questions that they weren't quite sure what they had gotten into. Demonstrating a sterile dressing change on the counter of your kitchen with a drawing of an incision. Inserting a Foley catheter using sterile technique into a shoebox, all on Zoom. We even had Zoom clinical and taking tests on Zoom. So if you remember asking that you do a 360 of your workspace before we could begin the test. So we got to know a lot of different areas of everybody's home. Amy's dining room table, Jeff's brown plaid chair, Nicole's kitchen. I remember her refrigerator in the background. Amy's cats. Dress code on Zoom was pretty casual, even bathrobes and PJs. And I will admit that on rare occasion on Zoom, I did just have a fleece on over my PJs. The facial expressions as you were testing were priceless. Nicole, you had some of the best. I think you all became so absorbed in the questions you forgot we were watching as you tested. And we saw the gamut of emotions: confidence, frustration, fatigue, despair, but also joy and excitement when you did well. You supported each other with study groups, Kahoots, Quizlets, meditation groups with Chris, and a firm belief that you were going to make it together. Once we were allowed back in person, wearing masks, of course, and sometimes even goggles or a face mask, it added a whole new dimension to learning. It was wonderful to meet everyone in person instead of just looking at a little picture of your face on the Zoom screen. It also added quarantines and temporary returns to Zoom as people were exposed to COVID. You learned to be flexible and adaptable. You sat in the parking lot at Pickering in the cold the day we had lab, but the rest of the building was closed. I think we finally did get a maintenance man to let us in. You moved on to level 2, intro and med-surg 1. You played more Kahoots. You guys were a very competitive group. And you knew with sign-on names for Kahoot like Jessie Boo and Kiki, Court, and Slice, you knew it was going to be a good Kahoot game. There was, though, usually that moment when everyone realized that Jeff was going to win. We had in-lab clinical, working with case studies. I was so impressed how engaged and focused you were, even though it was just a case study. I remember discussing a Keith RN case study of a patient with breast cancer. I think in my group there were Jessica and Kiera, Angela, Nicole, Jeff, Courtney, and Kiana. You were so interested in learning about the care of this patient, the lab values, the medications, but you were also focused on the patient's family and the patient's emotional health. I also remember a very heated discussion about how to best prioritize the medical orders. When you were able to start actual clinical experiences, I heard from Mrs. Hotchkiss how well you were doing at Chester County Hospital and what a great impression you made on the nurses at the hospital and at Bryn Mawr Rehab. I heard about Claudette's first heparin injection as well as her shaving skills and Zykea's quiet helpfulness on the unit. You were finally able to practice the skills you'd been learning in lab. When you moved on to level 3, pediatrics, maternity, more med-surg, Mrs. Hotchkiss and I felt like we were sending our children out into the world. You moved on to level 4. You were about to finish the race. Level 4 issues, IV class, med-surg 3. Cordo rocked the Integrated Farm Challenge. Megan and Jeff provided special care and attention to their patients at Bryn Mawr Rehab. Cassidy and Brooke joined you as new members of Class P03. You showed leadership in mentoring the new Class P04 in the lab and in your old Level 1 classroom. You brought them cupcakes. Thank you, Kim. You brought them farm calculation worksheets. Thank you, Megan. And you even shared your chocolate-covered pretzels with the faculty. Thank you, Courtney. You have no idea how much I needed that chocolate-covered pretzel that day. Now you're at the end of this particular race, although I would say it's been more of a marathon than a sprint. Through it all, you kept the faith. Despite many obstacles, both personal and school-related, it was not easy to stay focused on Zoom, to handle all the content and assignments required of you, to deal with proctorio and COVID quarantines. As a class, you showed remarkable resilience and determination that you would all succeed. Tina always had her beautiful smile. Keandra, her quiet dignity. Chris, his infectious laugh. We could always count on Jeff to tackle any tech issues for us. Brooke delivered a baby and was back in class a few days later. Both Cordo and Nicole faced issues after being in accidents, but tonight you are all here. One of your great strengths in your class was your willingness to be there and to support each other. I remember talking with one of you after Nicole's accident, and you said, "Mrs. B, you know our class. We support each other. I don't care if we have to roll Nicole across the stage on a stretcher, we are getting her there." I will never forget my time with all of you as your instructor. I was honored by your request to speak at your graduation. And in a few minutes, as you walk across the stage as graduates, I look forward to calling you colleagues.
Thank you for those very inspiring words, Mrs. Berkman. I now would like to introduce the Class P03 Awards for Valedictorian and Salutatorian. The Salutatorian Award. This student was excellent, both academically and with technology. He always assisted the instructors with technical issues, especially during the pandemic when everyone had to get used to Zoom. He has a quiet demeanor, but is patient, kind, and spends time with his clients. He enjoys talking to his patients and getting to know them. He is both knowledgeable and very caring towards his patients, and always willing to help others out on the clinical units and in lab. We have no doubt that this student will make an excellent nurse and are excited to see where the future takes him. It is my extreme honor to recognize this year's salutatorian, Jeffrey Dolphin. Congratulations, Jeff. And this year's valedictorian. This particular student has worked exceptionally hard every day throughout the practical nursing program and has accomplished so much in her time with us. Her hard work ethic and strong will made her excel to be the academic best in her class. She was always kind and caring towards her patients, efficient, professional, and offered help to others while on the clinical units. She was always eager to learn and asked questions and always was up for a challenge and tackling a new learning experience. She will make an amazing nurse and be an asset to any employer. It is my extreme honor to recognize and award this year's valedictorian to Courtney Malloy.
So surprise to my family. They didn't know that I was going to be up here tonight. That's really hard because I have all sisters and we tell each other pretty much everything, so I was kind of aching. Anyway, thank you all for being here tonight. Class P03, we made it. We did it. I got to admit that I was really terrified about going back to school. I certainly never expected to be standing here tonight. Everyone in this class has been so supportive, which everyone else seems to think so as well. Encouraging, helpful. Kiara and Megan, you guys always kept me on the right slide. I never knew where we were. Jeff and Claude, you guys always helped me with my tech issues, because I never knew anything about that either. Jessica with the schedule, on point all the time. I literally would not have made it without all of you. So thank you to the entire class and the instructors. Managed to be patient with us and deal with us every day. So I appreciate all of you for your help and your time. Thank you to my children who are back there for understanding that I was doing the best that I could and trying to juggle so many things at this time. And I had a lot of bad mom moments where they had to fend for themselves. They're both teenagers, so they're pretty okay. I just hope you know how much I love you and that I did this for you. Thank you. And my sisters, who are also here, and I have the best sisters, and I thank you for your help with pretty much everything. When I called you for whatever it was, for appointments, to take my kids to pick up, you guys are always there for me, and I love you for that. And lastly, I would like to thank my mom, who couldn't be here tonight. She's in the hospital, but I know that she's watching on FaceTime with my sisters back there. And every time I would come in the house in uniform, my mom would say to me, "I'm so proud of you, daughter." And I just want you to know how much those words mean to me, and I wish you could have been here. And I hope that all of you are as proud of me as I am of all of you tonight. And thank you, and congratulations to Class P03 as gang.
Thank you, Courtney. I will now invite Class President Claudette Key to come up and lead the Practical Nurses Pledge. Graduates, please stand.
All right. I sincerely pledge myself to dedicate my life to the delivery of health care, to maintain high standards, personal ethics, and to advance the knowledge of my profession. I will endeavor to preserve life, alleviate suffering, and promote health. I will be an advocate to those in need and provide for the well-being of those in my care without prejudice. I will not use my knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. Neither will I disclose any personal matters trusted to me. With integrity, I will practice vocation as a responsible member of the healthcare profession. I will follow these precepts and guard them sacredly.
Graduates, you may be seated. I would now like to invite the other class officers from P03 and Class 127 to join Claudette on the stage as I call their names to do the Nightingale Lamp ceremony. Claudette's already here as Class President, Christian Vanderslice, Vice President of Class P03, Megan Starks, who is filling in for Amy Lieb as secretary, who couldn't be with us tonight, Kimberly Smith, treasurer of Class P03, and Jeffrey Dolphin from Resource. From Class 127, Class President Vivian Stillinger, Vice President Stephanie Murray, Secretary Kimberly Taylor, Treasurer Kristen Andrada, and Resource Rowan Padua. For the Nightingale Lamp. During the Crimean War, Florence Nightingale gained the nickname the Lady with the Lamp, deriving from a phrase in a report in the London Times which described her as a ministering angel, whose slender form glides quietly along each corridor. She may be observed alone with a little lamp in her hand, making her solitary rounds, caring for the sick and wounded soldiers. Within 6 months of her arrival in Scutari, the mortality rate dropped from 42.7% to 2.2%. Florence insisted on adequate lighting, diet, hygiene, and activity. She was well ahead of her time. She understood even then that the mind and body worked together, that cleanliness helped to prevent infection, and that it promoted healing. As a symbol of unity and of caring in the nursing profession, our graduating class officers will pass the lamp to the officers of Class 127, our next graduating class, reminding them in our high-tech healthcare world not to lose sight of the caring component of nursing. You now may exchange the lamps and continue our tradition of caring and compassion. Thank you. I now would like to take a moment to acknowledge our outstanding practical nursing staff and faculty. These hardworking individuals dedicate a lot of time and have impacted each of these students' lives while in the program. Faculty and staff, please stand when I call your name to be acknowledged. Teresa Berkman. Michelle Carpenter, who couldn't be here with us tonight. Julia Freeberg. Gigi Hayes, who couldn't be here with us tonight. Lisa Hotchkiss. Leslie James. Talonda Rogers. Dan Schultz. Maria Schultz. Charlene Smith. Lauren Unruh. Leslie Waltz. And Karen Warren, who couldn't be here with us tonight. This team is what makes our program so special. Their experience, dedication, and hard work to meet the students' needs on a daily basis is outstanding. I thank you all for contributing and making this program so amazing. As I share often with the students and graduates, we are most thankful to have met each of them. Our life is changed as each class teaches us some life lessons. And in the end, we are better teachers and better people because of meeting all of you. So thank you. Attaining academic excellence in such a rigorous program is commendable. I would like to recognize graduates who met the academic requirements for the National Association of Licensed Practical Nurses Honor Society. These graduates who have demonstrated and achieved this honor are wearing gray and burgundy cords this evening. Will the following students please stand and be recognized after I call your name? Jeffrey Dolphin. Tina Johnson. Claudette Key. Courtney Malloy. Kiara Robinson. Kiana Smith. Kimberly Smith. Megan Starks. And Jessica Williams. Congratulations. You may be seated. And now, the moment you have finally all been waiting for, the awarding of diplomas. Each student received a school pin. Every school has a distinct pin which easily identifies the graduates to their fellow alumni and is a source of pride. Our students wear their school pins over their hearts. As I call your name, please come up to receive your diploma. Kiera Terrell Robinson. Kimberly Ann Smith. Brooke Elizabeth Cadlick. Cordo Kirkula. Claudette Ariel Key. Tina Marie Johnson. Courtney Danielle Malloy. Kiana Marie Smith. Jessica Deneen Williams. Cassidy Ray Bello. Zakia Paschal. Keandra Anderson. Megan Elizabeth Starks. Jeffrey Ian Dolphin. Angela Dawn Jones. Christian Julian Vanderslice. Nicole McIntyre. As we bring this ceremony to a close, I ask that all remain in their seats until the graduates are arranged on the stage for a photo. I would like to extend thanks to our CCIU administration, communications team, maintenance, and horticultural departments for all of your help this evening and throughout the program. And I especially want to thank all of you for joining us as our guests here this evening. Yeah, we'll do that, yeah. We'll do it professionally, yep. To conclude our ceremony, I now present to you our newest nurse colleagues, the graduates of Class P03. Graduates, I'll ask that you stay on the stage while the professional photographer sets up, and then you can enjoy your families for the evening. Thank you all for attending. The graduates will be down shortly. Yes, you can move them to your left. Yes, you can move your tassels from right to left. Go ahead.